spent a solid week walking with picking trash up, and for 2 years we did it. And the good thing about it is we've had our entire crew trained with the notion of, I don't care what you're doing, I don't care what the emergency is. If you see something, you stop, you get out, you go pick it up, even if it's a piece of flagging or whatever it is, and it made our woods super clean. Yeah, absolutely. It's just, this stand is like 90% sugar maple, and that's land use history. You know, it was not intentional. It just happens to be where we are in a successional cycle right now. So this particular area was thinned before we started sugaring it, so you see a lot of the brambles coming in underneath, which is really good habitat as it is. And some sugar makers will come in, and on the main lines we were talking about, they will cut away the brambles every year, and they build themselves into this perpetual cycle of that kind of maintenance. And we take the, like, let's suck up and deal with it for 10 years and let nature kind of overstory and kill them off. So it's easier, and it's better, you know. Like I said, when we started out down the sugar house, we saw it's scrubbier down there. There's a lot more diversity. It's younger woods, so it's got a different mix of species. The stuff, the primary successional trees are just a different mix, and it's also just because of the way it grew up, just scrubbier basically, and it's got more diversity. So when when a lot of other maple producers come in, the first thing they see, they look at that like, this is how you do it. What kind of sugar woods is this? And then this is more typical of what sugar woods look like. Down there is the biologists come through and other folks, and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Look at the sugar woods. It's got so much diversity in it. So it's kind of nice. Overall, we have a nice tapestry of diversity. This kind of central core that runs at this elevation through our mountains is very, very dominant sugar woods. The lower stuff and the higher stuff is much more diverse. So these blue tubes, if you look, they'll run into a black pipe headed both directions for us. That's why we're not having to duck under anything right here. So you walk the main line, and there's like a little tubing loop. And what you're looking for is, if the air is running through it, you go, it's like bubbling fast, blah, 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 blah. And you know there's a problem on that piece of tubing. So then you walk out and you look for the problem. There's bigger pipes that run up the hill, straight up the primary slope. And if you come back here just a little bit, see the black pipe running off kind of that way, right there. Do you see it? Yeah. So the tubing runs into that. That's a main line. And if you look along the black pipe, every place, like right over there, you might see it, the blue tubing where it hits it, kind of makes a little loop before it connects to it. That's where you're looking for bubbles.
So this is actually not leaking?
This is not leaking. It's not a vacuum problem. It's a problem that needs to be fixed. So it's kind of like you got to rank your problems. And our woods are very tight right now, meaning there's not a lot of leaks. So this is a kind of problem we're after now. When there's big problems, we deal with the bigger ones first. Since you're asking. So if you look at this tree, we've been tapping it for 10 years. And that could be an old tap hole. Sometimes you get like the sapsucker holes that look similar, but that looks like a tap hole. Yeah. So that wasn't a good tap placement, because you get staining of the wood, so it becomes non-conductive. So what you want is, generally, it'll stain the wood linearly, so you want to avoid it. So this is okay because it's to the side. That could have been a tap hole there, like many years ago. Here's an old one right here. You can see in the bark, the scar for that remains. And the tree is healthy. It's growing over all those old tap holes, and it's actually really hard to see them, which is ideal. Honestly, it means that the tree is very healthy. It's not running fairly well. The trees give off gases as well as sap. I believe the gas is carbon dioxide, and that's part of what makes maple trees run. It's the expansion and contraction of the gases with the freeze-thaw cycle. But when we're looking for leaks in the woods, we follow the tubing, and we're looking for fast movement of air, which shows up as a really, really rapid movement of air through the tubing, through the sap. So that's a well-running maple tree during sugaring season. You can see where the tree line is. You were just across there.
Yeah.
Up in there.
Yeah, I got high enough.
So you're kind of looking into this gorge, basically, right?
Well, I got high enough where I could see the crest.
So there was a massive mudslide up here in the late 1800s. You see where all the birch are over here? There's a line of it.
Yep.
Where this ridge burned. They call it, some real old timers call it burnt ridge. The ridge burned, and then torrential rains came through, and like there's a huge mudslide. And when you can see it now when you walk up, like where the sugar woods end, it's like a dramatic stop. Like you get to a point, it's like, where do the maple trees go? And it's just white birch, which can grow in mineral soil. So we sugar down in here. That's our neighbors, the Dean property. And that's their neighbor, where you can see the logging roads down there,
Correct.
which is now part of state land.
Like Underhill State Park, or Underhill State Park.
It's part of the Mount Mansfield State Forest. Underhill State Park is farther to the south.
So we just got down from our hike, and we stopped at the sugar house for a shot of hot, fresh, boiled maple syrup. Mary said it's less marshmallowy today and more chocolatey.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's very good.
We just learned that this is porcupine poop, or so-called quill pig.
There's a confidence interval around that statement.
Okay.
Since I'm being recorded for posterity.
All right.
I'm fairly sure.
We can check it out.
The best way to tell from my taste buds are must be key. Does that taste piney?
No, I'm not doing that.